Greetings, my audience. I'm Jake Allen Graham. For my newcomers, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm reviewing Tom Holland's Spider-Man trilogy, the entire run, all 3 installments by Marvel Studios and Sony Studios. Collaboration. Mindfuck of a movie. Each one's are. Monkeys see doodah adventures that little nothing had a coherent narrative of a character arc that could make sense for Spider-Man. Peter Parker's one, played by Tom Holland. It's one of those movies franchise, the more you think about it, whatever character growth he's trying to progress throughout the trilogy run, the less it makes sense. More than Tom Holland's makes less sense than Monkey first one, Spider-Man guy, Tobey Maguire, as Spider-Man trilogy. I think these movies are more poorly put together than the Spider-Man trilogy with Maguire. But at least they kept me fucking awake. Unlike the first 2 Maguire movies, which as a kid they really had me going zoning out almost halfway asleep by the halfway point. You know, if it wasn't for that goblin jump scare that just woke me the fuck up in the 2002 flick in theaters when I first saw it. That piece of shit of a film. Snorefest, I thought. But luckily, Goblin woke me up. Which is why I was rooting for Goblin to win against Spider-Man in the first Spider-Man flick from 2002, starring Maguire and Willem Dafoe as the Green Goblin in Spider-Man, when they were duking out in the end, to the death. I was rooting for Goblin. He was my hero as a kid, when I was 5, for the 2002 Spider-Man flick, because I hated my Marvel hero from the comic, Spider-Man, played by Maguire, just because I hated how Maguire played him. So pathetic and annoying. Fuck. I wanted him to die like a cockroach. But just like cockroach, they never go away. They just keep on coming no matter how many times you kill them. Or like a rats. Army of rats is what Maguire's performance is like. As Spider-Man and as Peter Parker. Fuck his performance. That's why I like Spider-Man 3 as he danced as a buffoon to jazz and then slaps his girlfriend MJ, who's a bitch whore, in the story premise of the Sam Raimi trilogy. A floozy, as Willem Dafoe would say it, she is. But that was the Green Goblin's half, saying that to Harry Osborn, calling her a whore. And, Green Goblin's a better father than the actual father. That's the normal half. Because he actually is wise enough to know that Green Goblin, half is wise enough to know that MJ's just not really a faithful bitch soulmate to Harry. And clearly going on in other people's pants and flirting with other people, like we see in this movie when she's arguing with Harry. She first was Peter Parker and also Spider-Man, who she doesn't know who they're the same person in the flick, never figures it out, and just when you think she does figure out, oh well, they retcon that in the events of Spider-Man 2. I guess. Then you remember when you think that that a guy that worked at the Blue Go what's his name not Jameson in the Raimi trilogy, Robbie in the Raimi trilogy in Spider-Man 2. That kind of gets wrecked. That never gets mentioned again in how he's kind of looks like he's on to Peter. That never gets mentioned again in any point in trilogy. And I thought it was kind of creepy how Peter's being basically a stalker at this point in Spider-Man 2 when she's getting married to her fiance. And he's trying to get back on board in a relationship with MJ. Because now he doesn't have powers now, so he thinks it's okay to do it now. Because I guess he's retarded. His Spider-Man is my guess. But then again, that's probably why they gave him organic web shooters, because he couldn't know how to make mechanical web shooters because he's not even a scientist or a brainiac like Spider-Man is in like 616 comic or in the Ultimate Comics. A really smart person that can figure out shit with science and everything, invent stuff. So this Marvel Spider-Man, Sony's first outing, Trilogy didn't even have that character trait for Spider-Man. But Tom Holland's does. But he has the science smarts of Spider-Man. Not the common sense smarts of Spider-Man. Oh, he's dumb in each installment with his trilogy. He forgets to think. Or hates thinking. And often leaves other people to do his little dirty work. Or just, like in Spider-Man 3 with Tom Holland's and Doctor Strange. Everything's stupid. But that's okay. We got cool as Spider-Man cinematic action and crossovers. With more Spider-Mans for the price of one, and more villains than ever for the price of one, more bloated than the main Spider-Man 2 villains. Party deal. But this time we got 3 Spider-Mans for the price of one's variants of Peter Parker Spider-Mans. In this No Way Home flick. Third in outing of Spider-Man, but not the last supposedly, was Holland's as Spider-Man. If Spider-Man 4 was him ever happens. Hopefully it won't. And gets canceled, I hope. That's what I hope. But I doubt that. I'm going to get what I want. I give the Holland's trilogy a 7 out of 10 for a fun, dumb, retarded, guilty pleasure. Writing script, monkey see, do the final writing screenplay movie. Each installment feels like a B draft, something that disagree with you. Like, it just feels like it just feels like this, like a brain rotting corpse in your head when you watch this movie. Spider-Man No Way Home and Spider-Man Far From Home and Homecoming, the one that started it all. The madness. Will continue with Spider-Man 4, hopefully not. Fuck Holland's Spider-Man 4. Boycott it. Future watchers in the future watching this, if Spider-Man 4 came out now, when you're watching this, Holland's one, boycott it. Make the madness stop. That's why I think they're as good as Doctor Strange movies 1 and 2, including the Multiverse of Madness, which I think is a pure fun flick than the first Doctor Strange movie. That's what I think on Doctor Strange 1 and 2. And Doctor Strange 1 and 2 with Spider-Man ties into the third Spider-Man movie. Because Spider-Man is not a Spider-Man movie, it's kind of a Doctor Strange movie with Spider-Man in reverse order, so but mostly Spider-Man. Even when especially when Doctor Strange exits the picture by Spider-Man and caught in the mirror dimension, stuck by Spider-Man's webbing for a few hours. So we can send the villains home on their way to their grave. And sent them home to a worse fate than instead of making them powerful like they were in the original timeline with the villain powers that would kind of protect them from whatever gruesome fate that awaits them. Like then they're going to be human solid, you know. So Green Goblin is definitely still going to get impaled. This is going to be Norman Osborn pound and a half. It's going to get impaled by the Goliath. And what does Gog get in return? He has to drown himself to save Peter Parker because he's a good guy. He still would probably have to do that. To drown himself in the bottom of the ocean of Spencer Spider-Man 2. We guys poof back to his reality. And Goblin will still get impaled by his fucking glider. And Electro will get electrocuted, fried to death by Spider-Man from Andrew's run era timeline, because when he gets because remember he was going to get electrocuted and fried by absorbing the electricity from, but getting electrocuted, he was going to electrocute Electrico in the first, and he kills Electro on purpose in made Spider-Man 2. And by electrocuting him with overpowering him with electricity. So when he goes back to that reality, his is going to be a fried barbecue and a human barbecue. And if Sandman goes back to his reality, if was using his sand powers at some point, like getting shot or flying in the air, trying to rob another bank or to raise money for his daughter, or maybe he's doing something heroic now or whatever, he's going to be powerless and he's going die if he was in an endangered life experience. Which, since based off his behavior in Spider-Man 3, he's probably been doing the events of a hero, helping the little guy and stuff. But hey, Spider-Man cured him, and you let everyone back to their graves in a worse face than what they would have had. Nice, Spider-Man. You can think Tom Holland's Spider-Man and Peter Parker's Spider-Man for all three Peter Parkers working together and giving the villains a worse face home when they meet their maker time. It'll be more scary when they cross over to the afterlife. Just think about that before they die. It's going to be more traumatizing for them if there's an afterlife. In the Marvel universe of cinematic universe, like there is in the comics. Oh wait, there is a few, I guess, in the knowledge in the fourth Thor movie, one or a few are. So Afterlife, that's a thing in the Marvel Universe. And Resurrections in the multiverse of Marvel Universe. Everyone, I guess. Yeah, so I guess this makes sense to me. Stupid sense. This is more stupid than makes sense. Movies. I'm giving them a guilty pleasure score. 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10. Above average. All three Spider-Man with Tom Holland's run by Sony and Studios and Marvel Studios. Brought to you by starring Tom Holland's. Last three starring Tom Holland's and Andrew and Maguire as Peter Parker's Spider-Man. Their versions. Play respectively. Their old versions. And yeah. From their universe. Come crossover to Holland's to help. To be able to team up. Basically. In the third act. End of the movie. Half. Is when they show up. At the end half of the movie. Like the halfway point is when they both show up. And then at the third half they team up at the end. And the halfway point both of them show up. And at the end they team up, meet up each other and team up to secure with the villains, blah blah blah. Swing into action and get that heroic shot, money shot with them web action. To jerk the fans off. Where's their wallets? And screw everybody with brainwashing everyone and thinking and getting this screwing me and because this made money. I'm a little sweaty and exhausted now talking about this movie. That's why I give Holland's Spider-Man a 7 out of 10 trilogy, each installment, with the Homecoming trilogy by Marvel Studios. Run. Seven out of 10. Guilty pleasure score. I give it above average. For me, to you guys. Goodbye, good night. Subscribe, hit the thumbs up to watch my old videos. Continue watching my channel. And, excuse me, goodbye. Subscribe, hit the thumbs up. Feel free to comment below. I leave the comment section on all now in my videos now these days. And goodbye. Subscribe. Hit the thumbs up. See ya later.